All right, so I'm going to explain to you why most coaches and consultants never end up hitting consistent $10,000 or £10,000 months within their business, so that you can either fix these within your business or avoid these as you're going and growing your business. Now, it's down to two major reasons outside of the personal reasons that you might have, like limiting beliefs. So I'm not going to cover things like mindset, limiting beliefs, personality traits within this video. This is just going to be pure physical changes that you can make to your business and the actual fundamentals of how your business operates, so that you can fix those things logistically. Like, this won't be like an emotionally charged video where I'm talking through mindset stuff. Sure, there might be other videos on this channel where we do go through that, but that won't be today. So look, first let's break it down to how you actually get clients, okay? Because it's simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's simple. So we have our top of funnel, our middle of funnel, and our bottom of funnel. Now, if you're rolling in your eyes going, oh my God, yeah, I already know this. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of coaches, and the amount of people that don't get their top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel right is shocking. And I'm talking people that have been in business for years struggling to get to 10K months. So we'll talk about this in a second, but if you don't know what this means, basically top of funnel means you get more attention and followers. That's your top of funnel. So you're either posting Instagram content, running ads, or reaching out to people one-to-one, basically making more people aware that you exist. Number two is middle of funnel, which is nurturing and activating those leads. So getting those leads to the point where they know, like, and trust you enough to engage with you. And then bottom of funnel is where you'll actually book people onto calls and you'll close clients. It's really fucking simple. It's really, really fucking simple. One of the only things that you need to do to hit consistent 10K months is just get this right. Because what most people do is they'll have their top of funnel, but they don't have any middle of funnel or bottom of funnel, or at least their middle of funnel or bottom of funnel is completely broken. And because the culture of social media incentivizes you to get more views, get more likes, and do stupid shit to go viral, or post stupid shit to go viral, what ends up happening is, because we're so addicted to going viral, because we're so addicted to getting views, people, sure, will do their top of funnel, like they'll actually get people coming in. But what they'll then tend to do is they'll just continue to post top of funnel content. And what happens is all of your leads remain strangers, because you're never sending people down to the middle of funnel to actually get nurtured and engaged. So most pages are just stuck in this like top of funnel cycle where, again, just people get spun round and round and round and round and round, and they never get to know you. They never get to actually, become a client or become an engaged lead. Okay, it's either that or it's this. People understand their middle of funnel and they make valuable content. They understand their bottom of funnel. They're not afraid to reach out to people. They're not afraid to book calls, but they just don't have the flow of people coming in, right? So if this is you, then your simple fix is that you need to just, get attention, which is actually pretty easily done. Or it'd be this, right? They've got top of funnel, they've got middle of funnel, but they don't have any bottom of funnel. So again, you might be making, you might have just looked at the first one up here, or this one, the first one up here. You might have just looked at that and gone, no, I do feel like I have middle of funnel, but I'm still not getting clients. Well, that means you're in this boat where you do have the middle of funnel and you are nurturing your leads, you are making valuable content, but there's something broken in your conversion and in the bottom of funnel that's stopping you from booking calls and consistently turning people into clients. Now, you need to go and reflect and analyze within your business and within yourself what your problem currently is, right? That's all business growth is. That's all you need to do to get to 10K per month is figure out what your bottleneck is and fix it, right? And it can only be one of these three. It can only be one of these three, okay? So it's not that bad. It really, really isn't that bad. So what I want you to do, right, if you're struggling to figure this out for yourself and you want me to come and like personally diagnose this for your business, I want you to go to my Instagram at TomWatchMove, and I want you to message me the word funnel. And what I will do is I will hop on a call with you and we will break this down together to help you figure out what it is that you need to work on, okay? Moving on to the next most likely thing that's bottlenecking you from getting to that 10K per month is going to be pricing, okay? Because if the economics and the math to your business doesn't make sense, then the business is just never going to work. And I know you might be thinking, oh my God, yeah, but I don't want to raise my prices. I don't want to charge high ticket. Guess what? 99% of people who want to hit 10K per month need to charge high ticket in order to do so. It's just the way it goes. Now, there are benefits to charging high ticket, and we'll talk about that in a second, and we'll talk about like why you should charge high ticket anyway. But first, let's just break down the math behind your pricing so that you can put this into perspective. And if you've never done this, then this is going to be eye-opening for you, because like it might not be as difficult as what you're making out, like in terms of how many clients you need to get. But anyway, if you charge £100 per month, you're going to need to get 100 clients. This is ranked as hard because it is near impossible. Now, the only way that that does become possible is if you do this thing with your content where you combine your top of funnel and middle of funnel, and you have this top of funnel and middle of funnel mix, and then your top of funnel absolutely fucking skyrockets and gets you a bunch of really highly engaged audience members. Now, not everybody will do this. Not everybody can do this. It's very, very difficult to do, and it's very unpredictable. So I'm not going to be talking about that in this video. I'm not going to teach that. As good as it's, I'm sure you're like, oh my God, that sounds awesome. We'll make another video around that for sure. But most people won't have the ability to do that, even if they get all the right frameworks, for whatever reason, right? The social media gods favor some people more than others. Honestly, like, I don't know why. Maybe it's a universe thing. Maybe it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is, right? Some people just get really lucky with social media, and I want to give you ways of getting to 10K per month without relying on luck, okay? So in some instances, just to explain this, if you charge £100 per month, getting 100 clients will be easy. And that'll be when you do this with your content and you have this top of funnel that is like highly engaging and nurturing and blows up, right? So a lot of stars have to align for that to happen, but I'm not saying that it's impossible. It's just hard to do, okay? Next, £133. Honestly, if you're charging £133 per month, you need 75 clients. It's basically the same concept applies to the 100 clients, £100 per month. £200 per month, you would need 50 clients. Not bad, actually. Not bad. You can get 50 clients. It's doable. It's medium difficulty. The bottleneck and the trouble that you're going to find with having 50 clients is your delivery and your churn, right? Because most people don't take into consideration is like, well, if I grinded hard, long enough for and hard enough, I could definitely get to 100 clients over like 3 or 4 years. Yeah, but you don't take into consideration churn. There's going to be a percentage of people that leave the business. So what normally happens if you're charging on a monthly basis is you kind of stay, you'll get to like one number. Normally that's about 25 to 35 clients, and you'll end up staying at that number, okay? Unless you're really good at retention, which again is another skill within itself. And it's another skill to then have to master in order to reach 10K per month. And if we want to get there as soon as possible and as simply as possible, then we don't want to have to like become a client retention master right off the bat. Obviously that's something you're going to work on over time, but if you're just getting into coaching or you're just getting to your first 10K month, then that's not going to be you. So we want to rely on different means to get to that 10K. So going into 400, so yeah, sorry, the caveat with 50 clients is that you'll deal with churn, obviously less churn, but it's doable, okay? To make it easy, if you were to charge £400 per month, you'd only need 25 clients. And what you'll find, this is the funny thing, right? So we're talking about churn here. The funny thing is that you'll actually find that you get higher commitment clients when you charge more money, meaning that they're more likely to stay on board and less likely to churn. Isn't that funny? The people that are paying more money are less likely to stop paying that money. They're more likely to keep paying that money because they're more committed. Therefore, they're getting better results. So it feels counterintuitive when you first start like going into the high price realm, but it slowly starts to make sense, and you'll slowly start to be like, fuck, I need to charge way more for my service, which is the realization that you need to have. Okay, now we're talking about monthly prices there. We're going to talk about paying full prices as well, because this is something that can make your life a hell of a lot easier. You don't just have to be confined to charging monthly to get people on board as clients. Let's talk about paying full prices. So the way that I know that like this math doesn't technically make sense. It says 30 clients at £1,000 for 90 days. You're probably thinking, well, actually, I would only need to get 10 clients. But what we're thinking of here is how many clients you need in rotation at one time that have paid that amount of money across a 90-day period. So, for example, if you charge 500 for 90 days, yes, you only need to get 30 clients. Wait, is that right? No, it's not. Sorry, that's wrong. You need to get 20 clients. right? Ignore my math. You need to get 20 clients in 1 month in order to actually hit that 10K. But you would want to do that every month, of course, which means if you've got people on a 90-day program, there's going to be crossover, which means you're going to have to get up to a rotation of about 60 clients in order to do that. Really, it's more. Really, it's like 80 to 100. So it's still quite a lot, less than charging £100 per month, but still, pretty significant. Let's say, for example, you're charging 750. You're going to need 40 clients across 90 days. Again, way more doable. That's why it's medium. If you're charging £1,000 for 90 days, then you need a rotation of 30 clients. That's 10 new clients per month. If you're charging 1,500, then you're going to need 21 clients on at one time. That's going to be 7 new clients per month. Super easy to do, by the way. People can get access to £1,500 and pay you it. I promise you that. We've worked with hundreds of coaches who have done this, and I've been doing this for years and years and years now. I've had people who I really never in a million years thought that they would find the money to be able to do it, but because the result that I'm delivering to them has been so impactful and so important to them, they've done it. Okay? And this is the thing with higher pricing. This is the thing, is that when you charge somebody higher pricing, they go all in. And when they go all in, they get better results. When they get better results, they go and tell their friends. When they go and tell their friends, you get referrals. When you get referrals, you help more people. And you make more money. And your business grows. So it might feel uncomfortable to charge higher prices, but I can promise you this is going to be something that's going to bottleneck you from actually getting to that 10K per month if you're in these like lower price, hard to medium range. Okay? So yeah, if that was useful for you guys, subscribe and I'll see you in the next.